Nin explains the rules of arena football. The object of the game is for your team to score more points than the opposing team. Arena football, sometimes known as indoor football or indoor American football, is a variation of American football played indoors on a shorter field with smaller posts. Teams are made up of 24 players in the AFL, with 8 players taking to the field at any one time. The field is 50 yards long by 85 feet wide, with 2 8-yard end zones at each end. White markings on the field help players, referees and spectators keep a track of what's going on. The game starts with a kickoff. The team with possession of the ball is known as the offense, and the team without the ball is the defense. The job of the offense is to move the ball up the field and try and score points. This can be done by either running forwards with the ball, or by throwing it up the field for a teammate to catch. The offense is given 4 chances, or 4 downs, to make at least 10 yards. If the offense manages to move the ball 10 yards or more, they will retain possession of the ball whilst given another 4 downs to make another 10 yards. On your TV screen you will see this graphic. This tells you what down the team is on, and this tells you how many yards they need to make. The defense's job is to stop the offense moving the ball forwards by tackling. This includes pulling them to the ground, stopping them from moving forward, or forcing them into the side barriers of the field. If the offense fails to move the ball 10 yards within 4 downs, the ball is given to the defending team at that point. The defending team will then bring on their offensive players and try and move the ball in the opposite direction so that they can score themselves. Unlike normal American football, punting is not allowed, so on the last down, teams will usually kick for goal or try and get a touchdown. The teams will usually have 3 different units of 8 players that come on the field at different times. They include the offense. These players will usually come on the field when they have possession of the ball. The offensive unit consists of these positions. The quarterback is the most important player on the field, as he's the one who decides to pass the ball up the field, hand it off to a teammate so they can run with it, or decide to run with it himself. These offensive line positions are usually responsible for protecting the quarterback. The tight end has to designate himself as the tight end and line up opposite the opposing linebacker. The wide receivers are responsible for running down the field to catch the ball thrown by the quarterback, and the fullback is responsible for running with the ball up the field. The defense. These players will usually come on the field when the other team has the ball. The defensive unit consists of these positions. The defensive line is responsible for moving past the offensive line, the MAC linebacker may attack the quarterback, and the jack linebacker must stay behind the line of scrimmage but may move 5 yards laterally and backwards. And the defensive backs try and stop the wide receivers and passes up the middle of the field. Special teams. Special teams are specialist players that come on the field when there's a kick involved. Within the special teams is a mixture of offensive and defensive players, mixed with either a kicker for offense or a kick returner for defense. Now you know what all the players do and how the game is played. But how do you score? In arena football, there's several different ways of scoring. Number 1. A touchdown. The main way of scoring is via a touchdown. If the ball is carried into the end zone area, or thrown and caught into the end zone, this is a touchdown and is worth 6 points. Unlike in rugby, you don't need to touch the ball down onto the ground. All you have to do is cross the line with the nose of the ball to score. Number 2. Extra points. Once a touchdown has been scored, you have the option of kicking it through the uprights for an extra point, or try and pass or run with the ball into the end zone for an extra 2 points. You can also drop the ball onto the floor and kick it through the uprights, and this also scores 2 points. Most teams play it safe and go with a 1 point. Number 3. A field goal. At any time, the team with the ball can kick the ball between the posts and over the crossbar. To do this, they must hand it to a teammate who will hold it onto the ground ready for the kicker to make the kick. A successful kick scores 3 points. Number 4. A drop kick. At any time, the team with the ball can drop the ball onto the floor and kick the ball between the posts and over the crossbar. This is harder than a field goal, but scores more points. A successful drop kick scores 4 points. Number 5. Safety. If the defense tackles an offensive player behind his own goal line, the defending team scores 2 points. The game is played in 4 15-minute quarters for a combined playing time of 60 minutes. Highest score at the end of 60 minutes wins. Ties are rare in arena football, and overtime periods are played if necessary to determine a winner. Different indoor leagues have different rules about tie games. Is that it? Is that all I need to know? Well, you're almost there, but arena football is filled with lots and lots of rules, and you'll need to understand a few more of them before you watch or play a game. For example, rebound nets. Rebound nets are positioned at each side of the goalposts. They're 30 foot wide and 32 feet high, and if any kick or pass hits the nets and comes back into the field of play, it's open season, and the ball can be caught by any player. Fumble. If the ball carrier passes or drops the ball, that's a fumble. Any player on the field can recover the ball by diving onto it. The team that recovers the fumble gets possession of the ball. Interception. An aggressive defense can regain possession of the ball by catching or intercepting passes that are meant for players on the other team. Both fumble recoveries and interceptions can be run back into the end zone for touchdowns. Sack. If the defense tackles a quarterback whilst he has possession of the ball, this is known as a sack. This is detrimental to the offense, as a down is wasted and usually results in a loss of yards. Incomplete pass. If a pass intended to a receiver hits the ground first, it is ruled an incomplete pass. A down is wasted and play restarts from the spot of the last down. Penalty. If a player breaks one of the rules, referees will throw flags onto the field. They will determine who made the foul and how many yards his team should be penalised. Timeouts. If a team wants to stop the clock to regroup, take a break or discuss strategy, they are allowed 3 timeouts per half. Each timeout lasts 60 seconds and players get a break of 12 minutes at half time. This is a lot to take in, but once you start playing or watching arena football, the rules will become clear. If you found this video at all helpful, please like, share with your friends, rate, comment and subscribe. It takes me ages to make one of these things, and good karma is very much appreciated. If you want to know more about American football, check out my video tutorial here, and be sure to follow me on Twitter also. But in the meantime, enjoy arena football. Or indoor football if you prefer.